Here's z-scored FFT absolute power. And there again we see a lot of green, and we see that the excess in delta on the left is really focused around 3 Hertz and 4 Hertz. The high frequencies, very, very normal looking. And when we do the z-scored FFT relative power, again it's less dramatic than the absolute powers and basically normal. A little bit of excess here at the 12, 13, 14 Hertz. Again, this is probably an SMR type of rhythm, of a low beta rhythm. And the z-scored FFT relative powers, interestingly, are almost entirely normal up at this high frequency range. Here's our amplitude asymmetries for the different bands, just getting more detail. Here's z-scored coherences, essentially normal, negligible little things appearing there. Here's the phase lag with that interesting little phase thing we saw before in the different bands. We then have peak frequency given out in cycles per second. So for example, this individual's alpha frequency, 10.03 at P3, that kind of thing. And the z-scored peak frequencies. And as you can see, the z-scored peak frequencies are normal limits. We seem to have a little slow on T4. It thinks that the beta 2 frequency is a little slow. And that's probably because of that excess of beta 1 that we were seeing, and it's making it think that there's a little slow activity there in terms of the peak frequency being low. And that completes the report. This particular report was 24 pages long, and that is our eyes closed report using NeuroGuide. If we want to save the report, we can save it in a variety of ways, which are very handy. I like to save it as bitmapped graphics files. And to do that, when you're in the report, you'll say File, Save, and then go Bitmapped Graphics Files. And then I click on Bitmapped Graphics Files. And now I'm in the folder, TV111. And it's asking me what the file names want to be, and I have this little box here where I can type, and I do want to type in. So I'm going to type in training video, session 1, TFC video. So this is telling me this is the analysis I did of session 1 when I was on the video, and these are going to be named BMP for bitmap files. So I hit save, and the files have now been saved. And if I want to see those files, I will go to my computer this way, local disk C, brain M.20, Studies D, TV111, and now I have the bitmapped graphics files right in the directory. And page 1 is the cover page of the report. Page 2 is my technical information. Page 3 is the summary, and that's the one I like to send out. I'll double click on it. There's the summary, saved as a bitmap graphics file. And there I see my absolute powers, relative power, amplitude asymmetry, coherence, and phase lag, all on a one-page report, which is very convenient to send out. So having saved the report, I'm going to close the report window. And I want to save this session, this editing session with all the data, and I want to put it aside as a permanent record so the next time we come back and someone wants to see how it was artifacted, what it looked like, we can do that. So I'm going to go File, Save As, NeuroGuide, because now I'm going to save a NeuroGuide file. So I press NeuroGuide, and now again I have the chance to type in a name down here. And this will be an NG file for NeuroGuide. So I'll backspace over the star and I'll type training video session 1 TFC video. So this is the NeuroGuide file for the training video session 1, and this was my edits for the video, and I will hit save, and now it's been saved as a NeuroGuide file. So if I go back to this directory, I see right here a NeuroGuide file. So now in the directory, BrainM.20, Studies D, TV111, we first of all have all the BrainMaster files with the settings and what have you. We even have summary files for training that would have been done. We have the EDF files for session 1 and session 2. We have the NeuroGuide file, which was created saving my NeuroGuide analysis. And finally, we have all of the report files as bitmap graphics files in the directory. And that then makes this directory a rather complete report with EEG, with everything we need in order to carry out this analysis.